Well, hello and welcome again to our reading of Iliad, Book 1, and we're up to line 101. And you remember at this stage, Kalchas the seer has told the Danans that the real cause of their problems is not some vow or not some hecatomb, but Agamemnon's behaviour towards the priest or the seer of Apollo. So, a toy. This is a with a toy, which is a strengthening of a. It's just a longer form of a, often translated in the old translations as verily, in truth, or something, and we get a nice emphatic ge. So, verily, or in truth, he, thus speaking, thus having spoken, so having spoken thus. The kata is a preverb with hestomai, he sat down. And the Agamemnon, the hero, son of Atreus, ruling broadly. This is probably a participle, sometimes just rendered Lord Agamemnon, but it comes from that verb of ruling, so ruling broadly. Aneste, he stood up in front of them. Aneste, toisin. And as Homer often does, he leaves the punchline to the next line, a really strong word here, which is aknumenos. He is vexed. He's very upset. Meneos de megaphrines amphimelinae pimplant. So the phrenes goes with the melina, his black heart. The amphi's slightly awkward here in the various interpretations of it. It might mean something like all around. So his heart was black all around, and it was filled with, now this is adverbial, greatly with anger. That's a genitive here, meneos, after, it's a partitive genitive after this verb pimplami. It's one of those reduplicated presents. So it's pimplami, and the pi is a reduplication here. We get a nasal infix before the pi in the present. A lot of verbs in Greek do this, and the stem is actually here, the play. So pimplami. So so it's probably an imperfect here. It was filled greatly with anger. Ose is a dual, and we get a dual verb. But from aiko to resemble. So his two eyes, this is a dual form of the verb, his two eyes resemble. So that's the hoi for him. So his two eyes resembled bright fire, flashing fire. Kak osomenos, this is the osomai to see. It's connected, of course, with that noun up here in the dual we had. So it's, and the kaka is adverbial here, so looking badly, with evil in his look, perhaps glaring menacingly. Protester, first of all, pros eepe, he addressed Kalchas. Manti kakon, this is vocative from mantis, a seer, so seer of evil things. U popotimoi tokreguon erpas. Not yet ever have you spoken to me, tokreguon. This is only here in Homer, this word. It's something which is favourable or good. So you've never ever spoken anything favourable to me. Ai toi ta kakesti phila fresi mantuestai. But continually, in fact, ta kaka is the subject here, neuter plural singular verb. Evil things are phila dear to your mind, mantuestai, to prophesy. So, but you love prophesying evil things. But esthlon utitipoi erpas epos uti etelesas. But neither have you spoken ever any good word, nor have you fulfilled it. So the esthlon, the tit, and the epos, I think, go together here. So, nor have you ever spoken to me any good word, nor brought it to pass. Kai nun, and now among the Danans, theopropion is a participle. We've had nouns of that earlier in this, meaning to prophesy, and well, the verb here is to prophesy. So prophesying, now you announce, you say that in fact it's henekatudi, it's for this reason that the hekerbolos, the far shooter, tuke, makes griefs for us. So it's for this reason that the far shooter has given us grief. Tuko is to make, so here to make grief. Huneka often used for haughty, and probably here, because I was not willing, on the next line, to receive dexasthai from decamai, to receive the glorious ransom from the girl who was from Chrissy. She's never named as such, she's just the girl from Chrissy. Epe polu bulamai autain oikoi ekain. Since bulamai I wish polu very much, ekain to have autain her. Now the oikoi, this iota on the end is an old locative. So this is not nominative plural, it's from oikos, a house, but the iota on the end is an old locative meaning at home. So I very much wanted to take her home, to have her at home. Kaigara clutimestres probebula curidies aloku. This is a rather extreme thing to say here. For probebula, it's a perfect in form. I prefer her. But perfect in Greek, but translated as English in translated as present in English. So we could say I have preference for her or something. So I prefer her to Clytemnestra, my wedded wife, my lawfully wedded wife, Kuridias alakon. Since Esti, she is not kereon, she's not worse. Hethen, this is a genitive of comparison here. The ending, the old genitive then, possibly ablative, joined onto het. So it's really like our tes here. I prefer. Sorry, she's not inferior to her. Hethen. Ude demas, neither in body nor in fue, well, this is probably figure or physique perhaps, nor in phrenes, nor in intelligence, nor erga, nor in her skills, tit in any way. So the tit is adverbial, it doesn't go with the erga, it's just adverbial here, in any way. So she's not inferior to her either in her looks or in her physique, nor in her wits, her intelligence, nor in her skills in any way. Ala kai hos, but, and notice the accent on hos here, but even so, I am willing, domini palin, understand our ten, to give her back again, toge am amenon, if in fact this is the best thing. So I'm prepared to give her back, if this is the best thing. And we get a semicolon here. I wish for the laon, the people, MNI for ani, to be, now the zone here is soon, contracted, soon, and it's an accusative agreeing with laon, but this is contracted and you get soon. The noun here, sorry, not soon, saon. The noun here is, there is a verb sozo which is connected with this as well. So saos is the verb for safe, and here the alpha and the omicron, the omicron have combined to give you an omega, contracted. So that's a little bit tricky there. It's accusative agreeing with laon. For I wish the people to be safe, rather than apolesthai, rather than to perish, from apolumi. So I'd rather the people safe than to perish. So he accepts that he's got to give it back, because as leader he respects the will of the people. He's responsible for them. But hetoi massate, this is imperative. So autica, immediately prepare a prize for me. Offra me, lest oios, I alone, of the Argives. Eo is subjunctive from Amy, lest I be agerestos, without a prize. Since ude oike, this would not be fitting. Lucetega pantes, so all of you look to this, in fact. Now the hot here is for hottie, as indeed. So for all of you see this, hot for hottie, that the prize for me, so my prize, erkatai ale, is going ale to a different place, is going elsewhere. So for you all, in fact, see this, that my prize goes elsewhere. And that's the end of that little section.